Today I want to show you how I took a pretty simple acoustic guitar and vocal performance and how I mic'd it, how I mixed it and mastered it to sound more professional and make it all around better, and so that you can do it too. So let's jump right in. Let's look at the mic setup and signal flow. I've got a Neumann U87 large diaphragm condenser mic with a little metal pop filter here, and that's for the vocals. And I've got a Beyerdynamic 930 small condenser microphone, and that's to pick up the acoustic guitar. It's a nice smooth sound I found. Running some cables there to the preamp, and that is the SSL channel strip, SSL logic here. We got the input gain on the acoustic guitar and then dialed it down for the vocal, and the output gain is just at 12 o'clock. And I was using phantom power on both of these, but since I'm not using the mics now, I'm going to leave it off. And that outputs my analog cable in the back down to this converter, analog digital, digital analog converter, the Lynx Aurora 8. You can see me talking right there, and that feeds right into the PC via FireWire. Make fun of me, go ahead. And that is doing in Pro Tools right there. So let's jump right into the software, into the session, and see some of the mixing and magic that happens there. Here we are in the session. I will just do Control left click to take all the effects off, and I'll just play you a piece.
Up the door, 'cause if it hasn't been love, what am I still doing here?
And now let's do it after. Put all these back on.
Up the door, 'cause if it hasn't been love, what am I still doing here if it hasn't been love?
I think it sounds better after. You let me know in the comments what you think. So I'll just walk you through what I did here. I've got my trusty Avid Artist mix I'm using to push faders, so I don't have to do it with the mouse here, but you could do it with the mouse. And I've got the vocal a little bit above where the guitar is at, as you can see. Don't worry about this is just a different song, so I'll mix that later. So why don't I just hide that for now? And we have, yeah, very simple, 2 tracks, and it's a no-brainer how to mix that. It's not like 100 tracks like a lot of songs these days. So the first thing I do, I level match those, and then I put on this Console 1 plugin. And you might have seen me do this on the channel quite a few times before, but we'll do it again. And that just gives you a nice little visual interface. And let's just take it from there. Actually, let me just show you the guitar first, because that's how I did it. So that's without the vocal mic. So that's just the mic. In other words, that's just the small condenser mic you're hearing now. And I got it panned a little to the left too. I might actually change it a little. So see what's so cool is that you turn the knob and you see the panning moves. So sounds real thin, but we're just looking at the guitar right now. I didn't do much. I just turned the input gain down a little. It's just a little hot. And I put a little compression on it, and I put a little drive and character. Let's without the compression.
I'm still chasing after something that'll always leave me stuck.
Actually, now it's on headphones. It's good to have I mix on speakers, but it's good to have headphones as a final reference. I might boost the volume a little more. Yeah, 1 dB. It's not going to hurt anything. And I put a little drive on there. I'll let you hear what this sounds like. So that was what I did to the guitar first. And then I brought in the Console 1 onto the vocal. I got a little bit of EQ scoop here going on in the middle. Less than a dB. And a little high shelf here, And honestly, that's because there were a few notes in the song. I just felt that my voice didn't sound that great on some of those notes, so I was trying to make it sound a little better. And I got a little compression going on. So let's hear it just raw first.
I'm still waiting on a change of heart to help change my luck. I fall hard again, these silly little words help hold me up. Although you've fallen before, you won't fall anymore.
So you can hear it just kind of added a little bit of clarity to the vocal and a little nice roundness to it. I just realized now I didn't even use my handy drive and character. I didn't feel the need to, because we're going to put another compressor on the vocal. So that's taken us pretty far. Let's hear the before and after.
I'm still waiting on a change of heart to help change my luck. I fall hard again, these silly little...
Okay, so now what did I do next? I put a little bit more compression on the vocal.
I'm still waiting on a change of heart to help change my luck. I fall hard again, these silly little words.
Just smooths it over a little bit. And you notice that I'm kind of volume matching a little. It's not like making it much louder. I'm just trying to get it to punch clearer through in the mix. And you'd think that an acoustic guitar and a vocal is so simple to mix, and it is. But, you know, you can hear that I'm making it better and better and better, so why not? So that was the next thing. Then I messed with a little delay, and I just used the stock plugin from Pro Tools. So let's hear that.
I'm still waiting on a change of heart to help change my luck. I fall hard again, these silly little words help hold me up. Although you've fallen.
So you can hear that it's really minute. I can barely hear the delay, which is how I want it to be. I just want it to add some space around the vocal, and just so that it added some depth to it. And we're going to add some reverb to the whole thing in a second. And that's actually what I did next. This is a real fantastic plugin. I think everyone should go out and buy this one. Valhalla Vintage Verb. It's great. It has, you can do 3 colors. I like the 70s one. So you'll hear the difference right away.
I'm still waiting on a change of heart to help change my luck. I fall hard again, these silly little words help hold me up. Although you've fallen before.
And this was just the first verb that came up. It was like a concert hall, and it comes up with the mix at 100%, which is way overkill. But I dial it down to 10, 11% here, and it just sat pretty well in the mix. Oh, one thing I did do on this delay, I should explain it a little. I had it, the mix, I dialed it down to about 19%, a little bit of feedback, which I don't usually do, but it just called for it on this song. And I dialed the delay way back. And I did some low and high cut. I just pulled it up a little, just by ear, just messing with random dials till it sounds a little right. Nothing too scientific, you know. It's every song and every performance, it has its own little feel and vibe, and you just mess with it and use all your skills and knowledge until you can get it to sit well and sound good and vibe good. So let's hear that again.
I'm still waiting on a change of heart to help change my luck.
That's the big advantage of recording in the studio like this, where everything's completely treated and there's no echoes or reverberations. Everything's just like totally dead, you can hear.
I'm still waiting on a change of heart to help change my luck.
So later, you hear that delay coming in. Later, you can come back and add these delays and reverbs, and they sound real great because you got a real flat, unreflective sound going in.
I'm still waiting on a...
And it just makes it sound like it's in a real place and it's a nicer hall or whatever. And what did I do? Just a little mastering stuff. Not as much as I would do to master a track. Check that video up there. I did show how to do a full mastering tutorial, do a quick pro master for you if you want to check that out. But I didn't even do that process here. I just did a little stereo widening.
I'm still waiting on a change of heart to help change my luck. I fall hard again, these silly little words help hold me up.
So very subtle. I just made it a little wider. Since it's only 2 instruments, right? I wanted to kind of have some separation in the mix and a little bit of limiting, just catching peaks at the end.
I'm still waiting on a change of heart to help change my luck. I fall.
And that's it. And now I'm gonna render it, and I'll show you how I do that. I won't let you sit through the whole thing because it will take a while, but basically you make a stereo track. See, I've got this bust to a master fader. It's called mix, but the output of these tracks, the guitar and vocal, goes to the input of the mix, right? Mix is the input of the master track. I know the terminology is funny, and then that goes out to my headphones or speakers, and that's the auxiliary input. Now what I'm gonna do is instead of sending it out to the speakers, I'm gonna bus it to the print bus, and I'll make the bus on the stereo audio track I just made the print input, and then I'll just press record, and I'll show you how you do that. And then you arm it and just,
I'm still holding on to someone who does.
Right? So that's how I print the track. So I'm gonna go ahead and render this, and I'll be right back. So that's how I took a raw acoustic guitar and live vocal performance and kind of spice it up a little so that it's more pro sounding and it's a little more pleasing on the ears and pleasing on the vibe. One caveat and note to mention is I have another track that I did in the same session. I figured since I'm already set up, let me record another song for later and do that. And you might be thinking, hey, I mixed one track already. It's just acoustic guitar and vocals. Can I just use the same settings as it? And maybe you can. Sometimes that has worked for me. But in this case, when I tried to do that, I basically, you saw in the session, I had another chunk of audio, and I just dragged the plugins over and tried to level match that track to suit itself uniquely, and it just didn't work. Like, the delay was not the right delay for the vocal because that's a different vibe in that song from the first song. The reverb probably should have been different. Probably compression settings would have been changed. So even something as simple as acoustic guitar and vocal still needs some like special dedication, love, tender kindness, and care. So it's not just a cookie cutter. You know, each track is a unique performance. Each mix is its own little piece of art. So that's the way I approach it. Of course, you can use the template that you set up for the first one to make it easier, so you don't have to do all this signal chain stuff and put all these plugins again. You can just come in and copy them over and then tweak them a little to suit the track, but you still have to sit there and listen to that track and make it shine to be the best it can. So that's been today's production session. If you're getting value from this channel, I really hope you'll consider subscribing below, comment below, and let me know what you think. How do you like to spice up your acoustic guitar and vocal tracks, and what are some of your tips for mixing and mastering? Until next time, I'm Yusuf, and I'll see you later.